What's going on, guys? Today I have another text animation for you, and we are going to show you how to do exactly what's on screen right now. So alright, let's go ahead and open our After Effects and put new composition. We just call this trendy text. Alright, our typical 1920 by 1080 will have a 15 frame rate just so we can get more of the 2D animation look, and we'll have a 10-second cool. Alright, everything. Alright, so first things first, we're going to do our background. This is optional. Personally, when I use this text, I don't use it with a background. I use it for this animation right here, my subscribe animation, but I'm going to show you with the background too. So I'm going to do a new solid, and you want to make this a light color. We can name this BG for background, and we'll do another one for the waves. Solid, call it waves, and we'll make this one a little lighter. Okay, alright, now we need to get the waviness, so let's go ahead to our effects and presets, and Venetian blinds. Venetian blinds transition, and we'll drag that on top of our waves, and our settings are going to be 50% transition completion, and you can come in and change these settings later, but for now I'll show you this. 45 and about 30. Do mine a little bigger. Alright, and we want to get the actual movement of these waves, so effects and presets, wave warp, distort, wave warp, drag that on top of our waves, and we're gonna do about a 60 wave height, wave width about, let's do 375. And you can see so far, this is kind of what we have, and you see there's space there, so we're gonna fix that right now. First, we're gonna do our direction 45 degrees, and slow down our wave speed quite a bit to 0.3. Alright, now this is how we fix those gaps. So put it on all edges, and now you have no more gaps. Alright, now we can move this, or we can leave that how it is. If you want to come back and change that later, you can, but we'll change this to high quality, and that's a great background. You can play around with the settings. I definitely encourage you to, but for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to move on. So we're doing a new text layer, and you might have your word in mind. Maybe you have a word like subscribe or something, but we want to do one letter at a time. So we're gonna do wave, W. We're just gonna do that letter for now. Okay, so let's go ahead and Control Alt Home, which will bring our anchor point to the middle of the letter, and we're gonna align this to the composition. Alright, next up, we're going to add some animation to our W, make it go up and down with the waves. So we want to go to position, push P, and you want to click the stopwatch, set a keyframe, and we're going to move this to about 400. I've done this a few times, so that's where I've gotten this calculation. We'll move this to 1 second, Alright, now we're gonna go 750 for the second one. And basically this is what we got. Okay. Alright, you can move this up a little more or down a little more, however you feel like it. So let's go ahead and select both of these keyframes and click F9. And that's gonna easy ease our keyframes. Alright. Now, we want to get this to move up and down like with the waves. So to do that, we could duplicate these keyframes and stagger them. But that is a lot of extra work. So what we're gonna do is hold Alt, click the stopwatch, and make an expression. For this one, we're gonna type in loop. And you don't even have to completely type it. You can see here loop out. And we're gonna add parentheses. Make sure you put the parentheses. And you want to double click on ping pong down here. Ping pong. And boom. So basically what that does is reverses whatever movement you have up here. So look. Now we have our looping W. Alright. For your text also, you want to edit your text, you want to make sure you have a good font size and your stroke, most importantly. I'm gonna keep mine's around there. Yeah, fill overstroke, make sure you also have fill overstroke. Okay, and if you don't know how to put stroke on, you just go, you have your text color there. If you click that and you set stroke color, you can set it to whatever, and then invert it, which is cool. It's just fine. Well, whatever. Okay, so now we're gonna add our other letters to this word. So Control D, duplicate, and we're gonna double click that and change it to an A. You want to put that underneath. Make sure you put it underneath the W. And I'm gonna turn my background off because it's a little distracting. So we want to move this over, but we don't want to have to edit the keyframes. So let's move this to hold Shift, and it'll lock onto this keyframe. So we're gonna select both of the keyframes, and you're gonna hold Shift and move the arrow key. So we're gonna move it over to the right, and you can have it underneath the W a little bit. Once you see how it goes, the wave goes, you'll understand why we do that. Or you could move it away from that W, but I prefer it like that. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and duplicate this. And same thing. Okay, so you wanna click on this and hold Shift. Make sure you have all of the waves, all of the letters selected. And we're going to do the same thing we did earlier, hold Shift and move this. Alright, so we want to make sure we have all of the keyframes selected. So you hold Shift and move them over to about the middle. So our next part is to make the wave motion. So let's go ahead and deselect all, press F2, and we're gonna stagger these keyframes by about 1 or 2. So page down twice. And depending on what letters you're using, it depends on how many frames you're going to move apart. But you'll see that later on after you finish this. looks about right. We'll come back and change it later if we really want to. So hold shift, press U, clear all that out the way, and we have our text. Okay, now it does look a little just not very quality, so we're gonna add motion blur to it, and we're gonna hold shift and select all of these and click this motion blur for all of them, and it looks much better. Okay, so to add even better of an effect, we're going to pre-compose all of this. So we'll name this text. Okay, and to do this, we're going to duplicate this composition. So we have our next composition, and we're going to pull it underneath, and we're going to go one keyframe. Alright, and we're going to add a change to color, so we can change the color of the ones underneath it. So change to color. Alright, pull that on the second text, and we're going to change it to, let's do a yellow. Okay, and you can't see it because it's right underneath. Alright, so, oh no, that's the wrong way. So from this color to this color. Alright, and you can't see the changes, so to see them you have to go to hue, lightness, and saturation, and I'm gonna let you guys see that doesn't have the stroke. You can do it like that, or if you just put transforming to color, you'll still have the same stroke. So let me show you. Alright, so we're gonna do that a few more times. That looks pretty cool, but we can add even better of a perception of depth by moving these over. So position, and we're going to X position. I'll do 980. 980. Let's do 20 in between each one. So we'll do 1,000, and we'll do 1,020, and we'll do 1,040. See how that looks? That's looking great so far. So for our next part, this is just about it for the most part. All that you would have to do left is adjust these settings on how you would like them. So as you can see, we got our wave going, and our colors are not looking here. Let me make this look better. That is all for today. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace.